Alrighty, I got another one for you guys. I'd like to put a simple external radiator on my PC today, and this will be the second time I've done it. I can't find any footage of the first version, but it was just a simple sheet metal part in SolidWorks. I don't have the patience for SolidWorks today. I'm not familiar enough with FreeCAD's sheet metal system, and I need to use Fusion for my classes, so why not get some extra practice? Geez, this footage has been sitting around for a long time. I think it's best I just get this done. Do I really need to explain the workflow? Alright, fine. Figure out relative radiator information. Make a quick sketch in Fusion. Forget to constrain half the sketch. But luckily Fusion is just as willing to play with broken things as I am. Oh, but FreeCAD? Yeah, it's still better. Check the material properties on SendCutSense website for the right K-factor. Turn that to a sheet metal part. And then throw the guys with the laser cutters like $30 or something. I don't know, I forget.
I just checked, and it fits. This is gonna be sick. So I tried to media blast it, to be all fancy, right? Get a cool texture, but it didn't work, and I assume that's because of the low CFM, and I was using soft walnut with a relatively fine grain, so I guess I'm sanding it like the rest of everyone else.
Whoops, I forgot to tolerance that. My bad. Hey, it's an easy fix though. I actually didn't notice this until now, but you can see the old setup in the background. Notice how the radiator is mounted? Yeah, I've got a different plan this time. Oh, never mind. I just found the old intro. So, yeah, here's some of that.
So maybe it's just me, but I'm starting to get tired of, the standard tower computer form factor. Don't get me wrong, it's worked for how many decades at this point? It's definitely the way to go. But, we could do better, right? That's why I love cases like this Tower 100. It's so cool. It's taller than it's wide. It meets all my criteria for being just, weird. And it's, also not the standard tower form factor. I'm talking like a Dell Optiplex. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Those things. Not the biggest fan. But if you know anything about this case in particular, you'll know it's an IPX case. And well, I want to do video stuff. I want to use Blender. Blender doesn't have any, GPU utilization in the VSE. So that means I need a really beefy CPU. Which means I need more cooling than this little thing could offer. So that's how I ended up with a, 1x3 radiator just stuck on the side of it. I have come to absolutely love external radiators because, well, they're just cool. But then again, like, you know, you'd look behind me and there's a half-built car, so it's kind of obvious I like mechanical detail. But this just looks neat. And from what I understand, not many people do this, and for good reason. It's stupid, and it, like, you know, it's a lot of work. But it's fun, and that's why I'm here. And guess what? I'm doing it again, because I'm not happy with this. This kind of sucks. This computer actually has a lot more going for it than, you know, what I led you to believe. Because, for whatever crazy reason, I shoved an Intel Arc A770 in here. And it's the LE, so it's, you know, gorgeous. I don't care if it's held together with tape. It just looks so cool, I can't help it. But the absolute best part is, that graphics card isn't meant to fit onto this motherboard or into this case. So I had to do, you know, some slotting and notching I'm not terribly proud of. Mainly because I knew I would come back and fix it one day, so, you know, excuses, right? They're pretty fun. I really love how this case comes apart, because it's so, like, I don't know, modular, I guess? I don't know. Point being is, I just feel like I could do so much more with this if I really wanted to, but I don't, because I'm lazy. This, however, I'm not a fan of these. These screws are so hard to get to. Like, are you kidding me? Come on. I don't like that. Wow, this is the longest screwdriver I could have found. And it's not going to fit in half the sides, but whatever. Admittedly, trying to unhook this isn't very fun. But it is doable. Kinda. Well, sometimes. There we go. I promised it would work. Sweet. Okay, we can free this now. Which means the hard part is, about sorta past us, sorta not really past us. The CPU cooler has to go through this hole, which is something I hope to change. To be honest, I'm not sure how I built this the first time. I kind of forget, actually. This is a better example of just how the old bracket mounted. It's not, it's quite simple. Which is why I want to do something cooler. So this is the chassis stripped down as far as I need it to be. And that little crossbar right there, that's what I need to remove if I want to run my wires or my hoses through here. Alright, awesome. This has been taken care of now. So, it's just a matter of cleaning it off and then painting it. That already looks awesome. So, sweet. For my paint choices, I've got Miata Black and more Miata Black. Despite having the same name, they're both paint code PZ. So, you know, that'll be cool. My application method of choice, airbrush. I do have an HVLP gun, but, well, you know, lazy, right? remember how I said I had to do some pretty ghetto stuff to get that graphics card to fit? Well, there's your answer right there. There's an entire lobe, just a decorative, typical MSI weirdness, that had to be ground off there, and I don't know, maybe even 3 millimeters of aluminum had to be taken off right there. You can actually see where it's starting to, eat away at that boss, or, screws poking through, but no one sees it with the graphics card on, so I don't care. Yeah, so it'll work once I remember what the actual model for this graphics card is. It's like the 790, Edge Wi-Fi something. But yeah, everyone says it won't fit. Now it'll fit with like some really minor work. Now I am going to be, taking this apart again because I'm pretty sure some of the thermal pads underneath these are destroyed. But it worked just fine. It worked fantastic, actually. So I got this piece of junk all painted, and yeah, it looks horrible, I know. To be honest, the paint, it's just a coping mechanism until I, get around to building a powder coating setup, but that's not happening right now, so fine. I'll put up with paint for a while, no big deal. Now, it's just a matter of cleaning this off and putting it back on, so that'll look pretty cool. It's also really bright. And you know what? I don't care how badly I scratch this, because I know that I'm just gonna repaint it later. Not repaint it, I'm gonna powder coat it, but you get the idea. Finding those stupid holes is even harder with this on there. That's just gonna hang right there until I figure out better cable management. Oh, it fits, just barely.
So, quite a bit of time has passed since working on this project last, but that's for a good reason. I've been loving it. This external radiator has worked absolutely beautifully, and, you know, it also looks good, which is kind of a big deal for me. So, performance is really why I did this. Don't get me wrong, it looks super cool and I love it. Kinda looks like Among Us though, and that pisses me off, but whatever. Performance. It works great. The old design was absolutely terrible. I'm pretty sure blowing through one of the exhausts into the case was causing some sort of, I don't know, horrible airflow. Now we get reasonable numbers. Granted, it's still an Intel chip, so it runs hot no matter what you do, but 75, like, you know, a average and or max of 75, that's a lot better than 98 and like thermal throttling, which I was experiencing previously. This little thing is awesome. Am I ever gonna take the plastic off the glass? Probably not. I'm still not 100% happy with it. I'll likely go back in here. It's bent at a slight angle, and there's just nothing I can do about that. It's resistance from the soft lines. They're just so aggressively bent into that position, and there's really no way to alleviate that stress without them being slightly longer. So perhaps we'll get another AIO.